In this video, we are giving an insight into the methods, projects, and ideas that we use to make money from the Scrollsaw projects that we make. So let's get straight into it and share with you some different ideas and thoughts that might be useful if you're interested in developing your own scroll sawing business and making some money for the time that you spend scroll sawing. The first area we will look at is if you are a scroll saw beginner. If you're a beginner, don't worry, it is still possible to make money from the projects that you do. You can make simple projects and get a return and generate a little revenue from the investment you've made in your scroll saw and materials. A great example of this is key rings. You can develop and perfect your skills of cutting out basic outlines and turning them into key rings. Oval shapes, circles, and our own favourite is a simple heart outline can be cut on your scroll saw, drill a hole, sand it flat, and turn it into a key ring. Extending this then by adding a scroll sawed letter and stick that onto the key ring, and you have a unique personalized item that you have crafted on your scroll saw. So that is leading us into our second suggestion. If you make personalized items, this is a great way of generating interest in the projects that you make. And in our experience, personalized wooden items are great sellers and a fantastic way to generate business from your scroll sawing. Adding as much interest as possible to your projects is another way of generating money from the work that you do. So getting colours and contrast into your designs is a fantastic approach to take when it comes to making unique and interesting items. For example, we use different coloured woods and also coloured superglues to create different effects from the projects that we make. Additionally, if you have other woodworking skills, these can prove invaluable when it comes to adding an extra dimension to the scroll sawing that you do. For example, if you have the ability to do wood turning, you could combine this skill with the scroll sawing that you are doing. Ourselves, we are love spoon carvers and wood carvers, so we tend to favour combining our wood carving skills and scroll sawing skills to give our projects a really unique and interesting look and feel. A tip that we can give you that proves invaluable for our own family workshop to keep us competitive and to keep the price down of what you produce is to use stack cutting. By cutting out more than one layer at a time, this allows us to work more efficiently and to produce several items each time we cut something out. So for example, if you are cutting out 3 layers, you're getting 3 items for that one cut on your scroll saw. This is one of the most fantastic ways to keep yourself competitive and allow you to compete with wooden items that may be made using, for example, CNC machines or made in places where labour is a lot cheaper. The next points that we will focus upon are the specific areas you might want to focus your projects upon. The first area I would recommend are animals, and specifically pets. Projects that include cats, dogs, horses. I find that these sell quickly, they're popular, and you have a large audience that are potentially interested in purchasing these items. Animal-themed ideas and pet projects are a great direction to focus what you're doing if you are developing a commercial aspect to your scroll sawing. Another area that we find is successful is to focus on family. So different relations, mum, dad, granny, gramps, son, daughter, different relations. Think of different relatives, and for example, mum, this would have a wide audience that the product will potentially appeal to. Giving a more specific example, if you had a scroll saw project with the words best mum on, and you made this in preparation to be sold in the run up to Mother's Day, you are giving yourself a fantastic window to generate interest in your products. This moves us then onto another area that we would suggest focusing your attention on when it comes to making money from your scroll sawing, and that is to put your attention on occasions. For ourselves at our family workshop, the number one occasion that we start preparing for in January is Christmas. And you may be saying, why are you preparing in January? We have to start our preparation for Christmas early, because the demand for Christmas scroll sawed items is the most significant for ourselves. As many items as we can produce on our scroll saw for Christmas, there is a large market and interest for these items. We're always adding new Christmas designs and developing new ideas because it is our number one seller when it comes to the scroll saw projects. There's other occasions you can focus on, for example, Valentine's, Mother's Day, Easter. Moving on from here, special occasions. We focus our attention on love spoons, but it's the same for our scroll saw projects. Anything focused upon anniversaries, weddings, engagements, births, any of these occasions are fantastic focal points for the designs that you create. And with all of these tips, if you can combine a few together, so for example, if you can have a personalized wedding occasion item, this can generate significant interest. Something else you might consider is to look at things that are trending. Things come in and out of fashion, trends come and go, and you may find that there's a niche and something that you can focus upon. It may be relevant in a particular place that you are, and you can use that trend to generate revenue from what you're making. All of these things are more specific areas and specific things that you can look at when it comes to developing your scroll saw business. Let's just take an overall view of some of the things you can look at that will help you as things grow. Originality. If you're a beginner, doing simple projects, basic outlines is enough for you to get to grips with what it is to have a scroll saw business or sideline. But as time goes on, if you can develop originality, and as we mentioned, combine it with different skills you may have, something that is going to make you a little bit different and distinctive from others will be a massive benefit to your potential business as it grows. Additionally, if you can have some form of novelty value, that can also be a successful path for you to go down when it comes to developing what you're doing. Remember though, with all of this, there is an element of trial and error. One thing we have learnt over the past 50 years of making all sorts of different items here in our family workshop is that when it comes to selling, you cannot predict anything. One item will sell really successfully, another item will struggle to sell as well. However, it's important to try and learn the lessons as you go along and figure out why one item might have sold and why another item might have struggled. It might be your price point. It might be the specific area that you focus the project on. There's usually a simple solution, and for ourselves, we find that making simple items is the most successful way for us to proceed. We also encourage everyone to have a go at making your own designs, patterns, and templates. There's a couple of reasons for this. It brings us back to our point of novelty and originality. It can help to give you your own individual identity. It also is a process that you go through, and that can help to develop your creative skills, helping to improve the work that you might be doing on your scroll saw or with your other woodworking projects. For myself, I find that when I'm designing things, I have to work out any potential problems and issues that might occur in the design when we transfer it from a simple paper design into the practical wooden item. It helps to get you in that creative mindset and to develop your skills and your thought process as you go along. When you are first starting making things and designing things, the process can take hours and hours. But the more you do it, the more you get in that mindset of creativity, originality, novelty, expressing yourself through your work. The faster you'll become at doing it, the more unique you will become, and the greater the success you will be able to achieve when it comes to growing your scroll sawing business and making money from what you do. That is just a little insight into the process that we go through when it comes to trying to make money from our scroll sawing. Let us know in the comment section if you've got any questions when it comes to developing your own scroll sawing business, or any ideas or difficulties that you might have when it comes to selling different items. For those of you who are more experienced and are also selling your own scroll saw items, we would be delighted if you got your experiences in the comments section as well, because that is invaluable to helping the whole community in understanding what it takes to make and sell items using a scroll saw. Thank you again for watching. If that's useful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. We'd really appreciate that. And as always, we'll be back again soon with more videos.